come from south, from the deep, deep south, where the fields of cotton just die with blight, and the pappy reads Esquire with delight, while my Alabama mammy plays bridge all night, way down south in Dixie, swinging low, sweet chariot. Come on, come on, come on, carry me home. Oh, I come from south, got this south in my mouth. Uncle Tom's Cam's got a new routine, lights across the ice in the limousine, while Simon Legree shakes his tambourine, way down south in Dixie, swinging low, sweet chariot, swing low, sweet chariot. Listen here, you won't let me speak. Don't you know Swanee River is a dried up creek? Come on and carry me home. La da, la da, ho, 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 da 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 da.
That's what Net Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
From white folks like Lil Mama with the black face to Meg Thee Stallion with an actual black face. Yeah, free Tory Lanez, ASAP. Oh, mama. Railroaded black individual. And I say that to say that I don't believe what happened, that they say that happened, right? But if I were to give them all the benefit of the doubt, all the credit, if somehow there was a struggle over a pistol and he shot intentionally or unintentionally, the trigger went off, if his hand was on the weapon at the moment, at the time, which I don't believe it was, and somehow a bullet ricocheted and scraped, touched, cut, burnt her on the foot, I believe the consequences should have been on the table. Probation should have been the worst. Oh, my mama. If it was anything worse than probation, little county time, which should have been time served. But this dude is all the way in prison and appealing and being denied. It makes me believe some of the conspiracy theorist type conversation associated with Rock Nation. You see, Jigga just able, young man, got his case kicked out. He ain't the pappy. And now they say somehow Rock Nation, Jigga and them was interested in seeing Tory Lanez be in this predicament in regards to the Meg Thee Stallion scenario. And look, here he is. And now, with all the logical reasons this dude should be granted appeal, he's being denied. Just things that make you go, wonder. You have a female who is there. You have that security guard that didn't speak before has now came out and said he believes or saw that it was her. She pled the fifth. You got to realize pleading the fifth is a right you get to plead that protects you against self-incrimination. So, in essence, once you plead the fifth in order not to be able to have to speak, so you won't incriminate yourself, to a large degree, you incriminate yourself as far as causing yourself to be a credible witness on any statement you make, especially on this subject moving forward. However, the female was able to get away with that while she tested positive for GSR. And they still gave cuz all this time. That's crazy. And she never stopped tiptoeing, dancing, walking, running on the feet that were allegedly injured. Ever, never, ever. We saw video footage moments after it happened. She was tiptoeing in some high heels. Then she even took them off and walked barefooted on the asphalt with that fake ass limp. And I've been in a scenario situation before where I thought I was shot in my ankle. It's to the degree where we multiple cars caravanning from a location, calling the G homie like, cuz I'm hit. He like, all right, just shoot to the set then. We're gonna put you in the car, somebody else get you to the hospital. It's about an 8-9 minute drive from where we was to the set. By the time I get to the set, I'm realizing, nah, I think my foot must have got slammed in the door throughout all the commotion because I'm not hit. So even if she thought she was hit, I think before it was all said and done, she knew she wasn't hit. Oh, my.
So it looks like Tory Lanez has lost his appeal in the Megan Thee Stallion case. So shout out to Complex Magazine.
Oh, I said shout out Empress Radio. That's where we getting this content from. And she's shouting out Complex while I'm shouting her out. Credit, just throw that credit around where it's due.
Said Tory Lanez appeal denied in Megan Thee Stallion powwowing case. Sorry about YouTube censorship. Tory Lanez is facing another legal setback. On Wednesday, November 12th, the California Court of Appeal affirmed Lanez's felony convictions on a 10-year prison sentence for the powwowing of Megan Thee Stallion, per legal affairs journalist Megan Kuniff. We affirm Daystar Peterson's conviction. The California Court of Appeal has affirmed Tory Lanez's felony convictions and 10-year prison sentence for the powwowing of Megan Thee Stallion. As you guys can see there, the story is being updated. So yeah, that is the situation. So it said, Tory Lanez ordered to be deposed again in Megan Thee Stallion's defamation lawsuit. So this was November 1st. Tory Lanez has been ordered to...
Crazy for Jay-Z to come from the image of the underground, underdog, the system, illegal entrepreneur, get it by any means necessary, free all the real, to now being associated with being an individual deeply in bed with the feds by way of Des Perez and being actively, allegedly instrumental in denying an artist, not a hustler, not a D-boy, not a gangster, artist, their freedom with his influence. That's crazy.
To answer questions again in Megan Thee Stallion's defamation lawsuit against, this is the one about the blogger Malago Grams, after 2 failed depositions. In a court order from Judge Lisette M. Reed on October 30th, Lanez's lawyer claims the deposition testimony could hurt his ongoing appeal of his criminal powwowing conviction was struck down after the judge thought it was unclear how there would be any impact. Apparently it was. So as you guys know, if you didn't know, Megan Thee Stallion is suing a blogger for apparently she was working with Tory Lanez in his camp to slander Megan Thee Stallion. Allegedly, that's what the case is about. Anyways, the focus of Mr. Peterson's deposition in his relationship with defendant Cooper, not with the plaintiff. Thus, the court does not see how testimony regarding Mr. Peterson's communication and relationship with the defendant would serve to prejudice his criminal appeal. Judge Reed wrote that Lanez must be deposed and he can use his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination on a question-by-question basis, the propriety of which will be decided by the undersigned who will be supervising the deposition. For months now, Megan's attorneys have been attempting to depose the incarcerated singer, but have yet to be able to do with their satisfaction. So, yeah, that pretty much is it as far as the deposition. The trial date is November 17th, so it's time to...
He getting hella railroaded, man. She getting all the W's. He can be deposed, but his appeal is invalid, I suppose. Ooh, it's about the female he chose. Y'all gotta be careful, fellas. Gotta be careful what females you fraternize with and because it can prove to be faulty in the long run. So many different ways.
Hold bloggers accountable for years of harassment, cyberbullying, and publication of misinformation about my personal and professional life, Megan said. I've endured countless attacks of my character based on false narratives from social media bloggers misrepresenting themselves as journalists. It's unacceptable behavior, and these individuals need to understand that there will be repercussions for recklessly posting lies and defamatory falsehoods. So, yeah, Lanez also had filed a protective order requesting that he was not subject to any more questioning in that case. But yeah, anyway, so he was also trying to appeal his conviction, which, today was denied. So this is what they were presenting.
Of Tory Lanez, they presented new evidence that suggests he never fired the weapon the night Megan Thee Stallion was shot in the Hollywood Hills. Lanez is currently serving a 10-year sentence for the shooting. The legal team alleges she lied about what happened the night she was lost. So let's take you right now out to some of these details here on Live Now from Fox from Los Angeles earlier on today about this new evidence being presented. We'll see if it has any legs in the courts. Let's listen into this here on Live Now.
Here, some really, really compelling new evidence that you've never heard before. Our
Cut don't look professional or square, or he don't look professional or square enough. He look like a G. He look like he about or with all the bullshit. I could be totally wrong. I want to say that. Image wise, perception wise, Cut look like a gangster. Why he should not be facilitating this, filling this position that he's trying to roll. He's trying to take right now. He probably should not be the one. They probably should have delegated or designated someone other than himself.
legal team will explain all of that to you. We will have updates on Tory Lanez, Mr. Peterson, on how he's doing. It's really sad to see the situation that he's in.
Shout out to him for speaking so well, articulating himself, and probably really standing in some important shoes. And it's crazy. I just fell victim to stereotypes they place upon us. But I wasn't saying I view him that as I would be hesitant to deal with him personally, but to be effective in America, I'm acknowledging and I'm aware of and I'm observing how I believe they look at him and how this is coming across at a moment like this for everyone. But now as he began to speak, some of that what he looked like initially kind of goes away. But shout out to the brother though. I believe he's fighting a good cause.
And we think it's time, enough is enough. It's time to bring the brother home. So with that, I would like to bring up our lead consultant, Mr. Walter Roberts.
Good morning. We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting.
Crazy, because I'm suspicious when you represent success from the gutter on behalf of the criminal, like Jigga did, when they flip you similar to the way they did in Belly. Look how effective you are on their side. Ooh, they want to kill, or they have been successful in killing Jay-Z's whole legacy, influence of the Robin Hood. Get it off the books, unacceptably in a society that done whooped on us, and then wash it up and then present myself similar to the rest of y'all, even though y'all know how I got it. Similar to the Cocaine Cowboys era, building the entire landscape of the Miami reality scene that we've seen for the last 35, 40 years, right? But when they can get you to be that guy, then you amass $1 billion while throwing out all your integrity and everything you stood on, reasonable doubt and all that. Jigga, man, you know, the nigga, man. That's what you get. Tory Lanez has not done nothing, even if he did somehow inadvertently harm her foot with the discharge of a pistol away to the extent that she was hurt. She was not harmed. There was no 10 years worth of intention, nor was there 10 years worth of damage done. This is crazy.
Waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when
This some old shit. He was attacked last year or early this year, months ago.
he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times.
Free Tory Lanez. Free Tory Lanez. I don't know who y'all are, who y'all think y'all are or profess to be, because there's a black man in jail for whatever he may or may not have done that night. He's done enough time to pay for it 4 or 5 times, bro. He's done nothing to deserve to be stabbed almost to death while doing a 10-year sentence, bro. This has got to be the craziest, coldest nightmare for him and his family.
In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates.
How do you ignore all these intricate details and facts? It blows my mind. I can't believe it.
That Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete.
I believe it. I don't even believe there was any evidence really presented to even slightly coerce or convince any intelligent individual otherwise. That's why I truly believe the fix was in. Jay-Z, a cold piece of work. Rock a who?
It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense?
Exactly, because we know and can confirm for sure she definitely tested it positive for GSR. Then she pled the 5th to protect herself against self-incrimination. There's a shooting. I got gunpowder on my hands. Don't want to tell what I know because I might incriminate myself. That's reasonable doubt. Free Tory Lanez. That's all it takes. It's that simple. Unless it's a rigged game. There's something else going on, a bigger agenda.
Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that. Anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Ms. Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do.
All right, so what do you guys think about this? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from Empress Radio. All right, bye.
Man, for him to be a celebrity, man, and have gotten stabbed up the way he has, with the small amount of evidence that's pointing toward his guilt, and the great large amount of evidence pointing toward a reasonable doubt, especially in regards to this female, the things she did and did not do, I don't know what to say to you lanes, except once again, the top of the roof of the voice, free Tory Lanez.
Let me show you how to twerk. So you're gonna bend down low, pop the booty out, bring it back in, and then pop it out, and out, and in, and out, and in, nice and low, out, and in. Now hands, and down, and up, and down.
Yeah, neighborhood and Pussy. Giving a shout out right now to SPR in the streets. Y'all already know what it is. Stallion. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check my website out too. NipseyHustle.com, SlawsonBoy.com, MySpace /NipseyHustle. That Pussy. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.